Hello, I can see that we have people joining the call. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm awesome. This is Amy. Who do I have joining us?
This is Andre.
Hello, Andre.
And this is Scott Dieselhorse.
Hi, Scott.
I'm good.
Great. We are going to get started here in about 7 or 8 minutes. I don't know, have you guys been to the Monday morning call yet? Some of you.
I was in, this is Andre. I was in last week.
For the Monday call?
Yeah, last week,
super.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was my first one.
Oh, super. So what I'll do differently from the other conference calls for Monday mornings is I try and leave everybody's line unmuted because it's much more live and interactive. So if you could help me out and mute yourselves if there's any background noise, just because we can have up to 60 people on this call sometimes, so the background noise gets crazy. So if it gets too bad on my end, I'll mute you out. But if you guys could do it on yours, and then when you have some feedback, it's very interactive. Don't be shy. Make sure you bring up your questions. But in the interim, just keep it muted out so that there's no background. That would be awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And it'll be just a few more minutes, and I'll just hang tight here as we have people join in. Where are you guys calling from?
I'm in Detroit.
Detroit.
And Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, my goodness. So I have California, Michigan, and Florida so far. That's my favorite part. Looks like we had someone else join the call. Can I get your name? Okay, maybe not. Sorry about that. I will try and get everyone checked in as you log into the call. If I don't, we'll make sure you follow up with your agent directors after the call if you have any questions regarding today's topic, too.
All righty.
Hey, Andre, have you had any success lately?
Huh?
Have you had any success?
Well, I started my website with them last week, and we were having a little difficulty getting it set up. So after the meeting today, I was going to get back with my director. But as far as the buzz going on, I know a lot of people. I had a lot of people who own their own business, and
right.
A lot of them are really interested in getting these new machines. So
okay,
yeah, not bad. It's worth the effort to actually get a chance to go out. If you have friends or family who own small businesses or something like that, it's a pretty much of a good in to have this machine because they do all the safety checks and they do all the work. They do all the work. All you got to do is bring it in,
Right.
And
okay.
it's you probably like it. I mean, I'm just getting into it, but I've been in sales, and I really enjoy being able to help other people I already know. And then you get a chance to meet more people, too.
This is my second week in it. I've already moved on from my friends and family, and I've started moving into a more strategic type companies. It's been rather interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see we have someone else join the call. Is that Tony?
Yes, it's me.
No, this is Susan, and I keep getting these calls, and I don't belong on this list to be joining this. Can you please take me off the list?
Absolutely, I can. I will take that off right away, Susan.
Do you have my last name and phone number?
Yep, it looks like 303-955 number.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, I'll put it on there right now. No problem.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Anybody watch the game last night?
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, those last 20 seconds kind of rocked me a little bit.
Oh, my gosh. There was a lot of 20 seconds that got me.
Why do we have to throw it on the half-yard line?
I know.
Well, I think the coach is still kicking himself in the butt with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you go back to the Green Bay game, it would seem like a perfect decision.
Well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe that Green Bay couldn't even play.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, Russell Wilson has the Midas touch. I guess anytime you call his number, you can expect something good to happen.
Well, except that there's only 20 seconds left.
Well, at least I made good on the square, so it was good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It was definitely a great football game. Let's say that.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. We have lots of people joining. I'm not going to get everybody checked in. I just want to bump in here. This is Amy, and I'm here at the corporate office in Minnesota. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. We are excited for our Monday morning acceleration call. Some of you are new with us. Some have been around for a while. And for the Monday morning, I don't mute people out in the background unless there seems to be a lot of noise, then I'll mute it. But we really want it interactive and everybody participating today. So please feel free to interact with John Eliason and Chuck Fowler. And then if you have something going on in the background, if you could mute yourself out, that's awesomely helpful.
So what's this one going to be about today?
Well, you know, it's a surprise.
Man.
To all of us.
All right.
Don't tell me you're announcing.
What was that?
No.
You're announcing bonuses for everyone today? Is that the
Yeah, we are. Everybody that writes 20 deals this month gets for the month of February gets a huge bonus.
There we go.
You always have a hook in something.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Is Johnny here yet? Is John here yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We have a large group today, guys.
Well, that's why I like this place. You always get these little bonuses and all the time, you know. It's a good thing.
Bonuses are good. Bonuses are good.
Oh, yeah.
Love them.
You gotta like a bonus.
Yeah, we got to figure. You know, we got to put something together for. We all got to get together. That's what we need to figure out. You know, I got to get on John about that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is he coming? John, are you there?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to put places with these names involved.
Exactly. Well, no one wants to come to Minnesota now, so I think we should either figure out somewhere warm or, I don't know, figure out something.
Good luck on that.
Come to Florida. We just opened up a brand new hotel in Tallahassee.
Well, see, now that sounds like a place I'd like to be right now. Tallahassee?
Ditto.
Yeah, I know. Got to watch out for that Tallahassee Bridge, though.
Is that dangerous or what?
All right, welcome, John Eliason.
The Tallahassee we have here in town looks like a...
I thought that was Tallahatchie.
Yeah, it is.
Tallahatchie. I don't know. Maybe there's a bridge in Tallahassee that's dangerous too. I was through Tallahassee the other day.
Yeah, they got one too. Believe me.
Right.
The only thing we've got is a single flyover. It's like somebody dropped a piece of spaghetti out of the bowl.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. I'll be Charlie Joe McAllister jumping off the Tallahassee Bridge, right?
Charlie, you know, it's only because of your embarrassing evening over at the county fair or whatever.
No, but seriously, you guys got to come here for the Red Hills Horse Trials, man. It's like one of the only horse trials they do cross country with spectators.
Really? Well,
it's an absolute blast.
Oh, you know what? Well, we may have to do that. I don't know if we could make that a company thing or, you know, but I'm staying away from the state fair. That's all I got to say about it.
Don't worry about it.
Wow. You know, I'll tell you what, happy February. God, this call went down fast, man.
I know. You know, when we picked up the phone, it completely degraded.
These guys had it all great before we got here. Oh,
man.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway.
It is pretty common. I don't know who said that. Sounded like, I don't know if that was Shelley or Amy, but unfortunately, they both know the truth. So
I know. Yeah, not much to hide on that deal. Well, good morning. We'll get started. How's that? Yeah, And again, guys, we just wanted to touch base on just a small topic that we were talking about this morning in our meeting, and then we want to open it up for some Q&A. And we love when you guys, bring stuff to us that you have going on and sharing with the group so we can all learn together. But, one of the things that we were talking about in our meeting this morning was testing. I think we've all got a really good foundation of, how do we do this? We all have, marketing strategies and the way we approach it, and we all want more. I get that. And we were talking with the agent directors this morning and go, we're in a really great situation, I think, being in this industry, being in the model that we have. You guys have a lot of freedom to test things. And we want you guys to do that. Test what you're doing. And we're really big on analytics here. We want to look at, if I market this way, what is coming in off the, what am I getting off that response? And these are things that we can, when we run our tests, we can get data almost immediately. And what we want you guys to do is what our objective is to everybody is we want to get everybody up to 8-10 deals a month consistently. 8-10 deals a month. What did we figure, John? We ran the numbers. 8-10 deals a month for 5 years is going to yield you about $15,000 a month in residual income. And it's kind of like the 5-year freedom plan.
$400. Yeah, it's like $14,400. Now, assuming nobody dies or goes out of business, but let's even if you take a couple of weeks off or a couple of months off throughout the year, you still got like $144,000 for it. It's like $12,000 a month, and anyway, but yeah, the numbers are, and that's working about 20% time. When you get there, you've got to work like crazy to get there, but you're going to do something anyway for the next 5 years. It's a 5-year deal. 5 years to be able to work at 20% time and have $14,000, $14,000 coming in every month is really is the target, or at least the target that a lot of people shoot for. Anyway, so those are the numbers Chuck's talking about there.
Right. So what we want to do is want to look at what we're doing, and work with your agent directors. John and I want to get more involved with that, in figuring out what's your model. Because everybody here has got a little bit different spin, which is normal. I mean, we're all different. We all have our own way. But that's our focus with our team this year is, with you guys is like, how do we help you get to 8 to 10 deals a month consistently? How do we help you build that machine? So we want to help you test some things. We want to help create a strategy for you and put that together and go, okay. I mean, who here wouldn't want $140,000 or $50,000 a year in residual at the end of 5 years? I don't think any of us would. So that's really going to be our big push, and we're going to look at doing a lot of things on these Monday mornings to help formulate. You guys getting reverb too?
Yeah.
You guys getting that? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So somebody's on speakerphone or car phone whipping down the road. Somebody's going over the Tallahatchie Bridge right now with their
yeah, exactly.
Don't stop. Don't jump. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you? All right, we'll make sure. So, but anyway,
you guys on mute.
I'd have me on mute too.
Yeah, exactly. So bring that stuff for us. Help us help you is basically what we wanted to get to. And on these Monday morning calls, let's pick out topics. My email's chuck@cardsupport1. And what I want you guys to do is you want to talk about things in this format, let us know. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you want to talk about in this format, and we'll bring our best to the table. Because a lot of times, what we bring may be something that you're not struggling with, or you're not working that hard on because you're having success in something else, or you might be struggling with something different. But send it to us and let us kick it around, and let's build your machine. So that's really all I had, John. I don't know what you had.
Chuck's talking about testing, and as we're going into this morning, and I think if you wrote down his email, be sure to get a hold of him, because he's exactly right. We don't want to talk about what we want to talk about. We want to talk about what you need. And it's interesting, if we're looking at building, let's just say a model of 8 to 10, let's just say 2 deals a week, and over the course of 5 years, that gets you really what most people consider free. You're going to, $140,000, $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 working 20% time. That's really gets most people in this country free, and probably most people on this call free. If you want more or less, you can dial it either way you want. But I was thinking about the things that we had tested and all the things over time, and like initially how I was taught, and probably you guys were taught, to go out and do business, which is cold calling with a flyer and a card and making an introduction. And remembering doing that, just thinking about the testing that we've done over time. And you know, when you're first taught to do that, you've got to have a pretty thick skin to do that for any length of time, because it's just not very fun, and there's not, you know, how do you really grow something? And so I remember when I was introduced to that, it's like I thought, you know, I really love this business, but there's no way in God's green earth I'm going to go out and cold call like this, because it's not working to the degree that I want. And I asked myself, all right, how can I make twice what I'm making now, enjoy what I do, and not have to work anymore? And so I thought, okay, well, I'm looking at targets. I bought new business listings and mailed to those. I telemarketed. I called on the phone existing businesses that were in market that I liked. But then it was when I started getting referrals, and when we started talking to multiples, like places that I could go, and I could talk to somebody and eventually get more than one account out of it, and then joint ventures and the things that, you know, Chuck's talking about, what to say, you know, how do you say things? I'm standing in my office here, and I'm just looking at just here that, you know, I probably have 100 different books I've got a whole J. Abraham encyclopedia that's more marketing. I've got Tom Hopkins and Harvey Mackay and Darren Hardy, which is all the success stuff, you know, Success Magazine, the books, and I've got Richard Branson, and I've got, you know, I've got 100 different books here. You know, just thinking about what it is that they do. Steve Wynn, the Made to Stick stuff, The Secret, Think and Grow Rich. I've got Selling for Dummies in here. You know, seeing what people say. You know, the Kiyosaki stuff, Retire Young, Retire Rich. Tony Robbins, Psychology of Winning. Nito Q. Bain, The Awakened Life. More Tony Robbins. More Tom Hopkins. You know, it just goes on and on and on. Because I'm still want to improve my game. And it's like, what am I testing? What am I getting the little glimmer of stuff from all these people that I can use then tomorrow? And it's interesting. When I started in this business, my job was to write 2 deals a week, and I ended up writing 10. And the 10 is, if you're going cold calling like they showed us, you're a freaking rock star. So I was a rock star, but I was not making, nor was I living the life or loving what I was doing, and it was a hard grind. And then the shift, these things that, going from that cold calling, from that grind, to mail, telemarketing, getting referrals, multiples, joint ventures, trying to figure out how to better say it, testing the things along the way that Chuck's talking about. I ended up averaging 21 deals a month for years. You know, and imagine what that would do for you. I mean, run the numbers. That's more than that 8 deals a month. I mean, literally accelerating it by 2.5 times. So just my residual income, you know, I mean, it cut that 5 years in half. In 2.5 years, I was making 150,000, 160,000 residuals. And Chuck came on, and he did, 33, 35 deals a month for years. His was 50% faster. You know, so you can do this how you want to do it. The way we lay it out is the model where, you know, you want to do 8 deals. Well, that's an easy thing to do, because we know how to do 21, 33, 35. We do, because we did it. Just like we're just showing you how to go out and wheel around to do 8 to 10, you know, which is still work. But if you really want to light it up and you want to experiment with some things, we know how to do 2, 3 times that amount of 4 times that amount of business. So anyway, but it's how it's man, you're in the right vehicle with the right people, with the right product and the right package and all the systems in place. Now it's just, what are you going out and testing, and what are you finding? That's what Chuck's saying. Come to these calls. Shoot Chuck an email that says, man, I want to know how to do this, or I'm struggling with this, or I came across this. We want to, like he said it perfectly, we want to help you with what you want to do. We don't want to impose our 21 or 33 on you. We want to, you know, we want to do what you want to do. So that was my little piece for today, but I think we can both step back from the mic. I know Chuck did. I'll put Bogart in the mic. Step back, and what is it that you need? Now's the time to. Now that you've got us, time to fool us or ask us or give us something that we can help you with. And
hello,
if you
gentlemen.
say your name. Yeah.
This is Andre in Detroit. Hello
Yeah.
again.
Good to have you, buddy.
Hey.
Hey, I'm still happy to be on board. I was having a little problem with my with my website, but Bill, after I talk to you guys today, we're going to go over there and have that straightened out. What I wanted to ask you about now, sending the letters out, emails and so forth out to different companies. Now, do we have a basic introducing letter that's already scripted, or should we do it separately for each business?
Well, I think that depends. Do you know these people?
Well, I'm saying some I do, and then others I won't, because I'm going to be reaching out to different businesses of different types.
So you're emailing people that you don't know?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's spam, and it's illegal, so don't do that. And also...
No, I mean, just for an introduction.
Yeah. Well, introduction, here's what I found. We've sent, we email a lot, but here's what we found for email marketing. When you email people that don't know you, it's not worth the time, and also, it's just not. If you email people that don't know you, I don't know how many 100 emails they get a day, but I know how many 100 emails I get every day, and unless I know you, you are deleted. And so, seriously, I don't have time, and nor does anybody else. So, and it's just like if you read in my book, one of the things we talk about is sending mail and then following up. Don't like it at all. I would rather that, because then you go, hey, did you see if you follow up on the phone, you go, hey, did you get my mail? Did you get my email? Did you get whatever? And they go, no, and then you have to explain what it is you do. I would rather
work it the other way around.
Right.
The other way around is you make a phone call out first, and then you can send something if you want. But sending something out of the blue have you ever seen it work, Don? Yeah, I've never seen it work to the scale that you probably want to run.
It doesn't. We used to send. The only time I've ever seen it work to even a little bit of degree is back when we used to send mail years ago. We used to send mail to new businesses. Now everybody, all your competition sends mail to new business, so it's no longer effective. Anytime there's more than 3 players in that little game, it becomes horrible. Then they want proposals from everybody because they're too confused. So it's a horrible market, and it's a dog market, and we just haven't done it for years.
And vice versa.
We do dog eat dog world, vice versa, and vice versa. It's wicked. Yeah. It's you don't want to. It's just we don't play in it. And we don't play in the market where we send stuff out and then follow it up. And we don't. We don't want to send. We don't want to buy a list of businesses and send an email because that doesn't work either.
Oh no. No. Yeah. Okay. But is there a basic a layout or structure or script that you use when contacting these people?
Absolutely. Log on to the university, look under launch, and Chuck goes through it word by word, line by line, target by target.
Okay.
And then once you write an account, then we open up more. That's whole sales tools thing and all these other, and then in sales tools, there's more of that stuff. But right now you have access to launch. In launch, it gives you exactly the words that we've used to land thousands of accounts.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I needed, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Glad you're here, Andre.
Good to be here.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Chuck and John, I have a question for you. It's Ted Lowe in Atlanta.
Yeah. Good to have you.
Here's trying to new salespeople off the ground. In my past, we try to lay out the day in the life. What does a typical day of activities, preparation, planning, and activities look like? I wondered if, from all your fantastic experience, Seth, if you could kind of just lay that out a little bit.
Let's take a new salesperson, because I know, like, when I started in this business, John wrote about it in his book, the model that we follow, and it's how I started. Really, when I first started, the first thing I did is I sat down and went, okay, I've got to categorize my people A, B, C. This is the very first step that I did. I have A, were people that I knew personally that were business owners. B, were places that I spent my money. And C's were everyone else. And everyone else I looked at as a refer. And what I did is I came up with a list. I was a young guy then. I probably had 60, 70 people on my list that were either business owners, places I spent my money, or friends. And really, I just pounded the living Jesus out of the phone. I set it up. I called my A's first because I knew those people I could get, those people I could write right away so I could start generating some revenue. And then I had, it was a simple process. It was just, I'd call them either, I almost, like, in my mind, it's like a tree. And so I'm going to call this person I know, like my aunt and uncle or electricians were my first account. So I called them, okay. I said, they're either going to go yes or no. And they went yes. And then I got referrals from them, and then I put those referrals in my list, and then I reached out to the referrals, and even if it were a no, I'd try to get a referral. I go, look, I know timing's not right now, no big deal. Let me ask you, who do you know that timing may be right for? Can you help me out? And really, it just kind of starts getting almost like viral in a way, and because if we really sat down and truly did that, if people and look, you and I have spoken at length. I'm not that smart, but I'm just dumb enough to do the deal because I sat down, made the list, and I called and I held everybody that I spoke to accountable as they would me. If they wanted my business or to do something, they'd hold me accountable. So it was either move forward with me today or give me a referral. And if they didn't move forward, I went, okay, based on my conversation, I'm going to follow up with this guy in 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, depending on how the conversation went. And I just put it in my hanging folder at the time. Now we have, Connect. And I go, okay, I'm going to call this guy in 60 days, then hit the next one. And what was weird about that is in the beginning, it's like a plane taking off. It's like so much more energy in the beginning because I'm trying to put as much data into my system as possible by getting referrals. And I never really cold called unless I was just happened to be out doing a deal. Would I walk into hey, I was next door helping your neighbor with their credit card account. Let me ask you, who do you process with? And they go, well, I'm not interested. I shoot every fifth guy, and you're the fourth one, or the fourth one just left, I guess. And then I go, hey, no problem. I take their name and phone number down, and then I would call them 45 days later. So what does it look like? It's this massive networking thing. It sounds, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but just interject right there because I want to make sure I'm tracking this. It sounds like you're getting efficiency through phone prospecting instead of cold calling. That was one nugget I just picked up because a lot of the people I spend money with, I kind of go in, I have lunch or whatever, and they've seen me 1,000 times, and I feel like it's the right time to pop that question. And I think to some extent it might be, but really it sounds like you're getting efficiency from just hitting the phone. My A and C targets were always phone. My B targets, which were typically places that I spent my money, were most often face-to-face because they didn't know me by name. And if I called them, they wouldn't know me by, it wouldn't register. But my A contacts, my C contacts were all, kind of rewind, I guess, 20 years ago, is that, we started this deal, we were in John's basement. It was him and I and one other person. Now we've got, how many square feet do we have now? 14,000 square feet all in, John, something like that. So Yeah, so we were in his basement. So I'd come over at 7:30 in the morning, and I'd plop down in front of the computer. I'd be pounding the phone all day long. Well, I didn't have a computer yet because John was too cheap in the beginning to buy me one. No, but I'm kidding. So, but
well,
I'd sit down.
That, but he got one, got one shortly thereafter.
I did, but and I'd just pound the shit out of the phone, and I would like schedule. It was like a game. It was like chess. It was like, okay. It was like strategy. Like, all right, I called my buddy who owns a Goodyear tire dealership. He's not ready, so I'm going to call him 45 days. Great, but he did turn me on to another guy that we went to school with that owns a dry cleaner, so I called him, and I just was either constantly either asking for the sale or asking for referral. That was my life for the first frickin' 18 months. And then what happens after that is you have so much data going, and people are actually responding and calling in. But it's that first, probably I'd say 6 months, just to get off the ground. And that's where most guys fail in this deal because they never quite build their data. They'll go out and they'll talk to somebody, and they'll hear a no, and they don't even follow up with the guy. It's like, no, dude, you got to be like religious about this. And you can ask John. We were, and we are. Yeah. It's like I call you today. If it's no, I'm calling you 2 months from now. I'm going to be on you every 2 months. Should I tell the Dick story from Montevideo? This is a classic example. I had a guy. His name was Richard.
Too, but anyway,
he was just the biggest.
You'll hear the story.
Oh my God, this guy was a jerk. And one of the things that we tested and worked out really well is we used to call on banks. So we'd call banks and go, hey, look, here's what I do, and I can give you the scripting. If this is something you want to get into later, we can do it offline. And I'd go, look, send me all your declines. Everybody you can't get approved, send them my way. And I had this guy, I called him, because I called him probably once every other month, and this guy was like belligerent. And I remember every time he came up on my list to call, I'd look at John and we'd laugh about it because I'm like, yeah, I'm calling this guy again. And he'd go, dude, you're nuts. And I go, F it, I'm calling him. And he was a jerk. And to this day, I don't know how you get the name Dick out of Richard. If anybody can explain that to me, let me know. I don't understand how. I understand Rick. I understand Rich. I don't understand Dick from Richard. I don't get that. But so I'd call this guy every month, and he was the biggest jerk. And I would hang up the call, and I almost felt like I was like, damn, that guy was trying to beat me up. And then out of the blue one day, like after a year and a half of doing this, out of the blue, the guy calls me, and he was like, he was eating a big plate of crow. He's like, hey, he goes, one of our best customers, his wife wants to start selling products over the internet. And back in the day, that was like an impossible account to get if you wanted to accept credit cards over the internet. And he goes, man, this guy's livid. He's our best customer. He's going to leave if we can't get his wife an account. But I didn't give up on the guy. I still called him even though he was a jerk. Because you can't take too much personal ownership, and you got to be passionate, but you can't be emotional. It's emotion. This isn't a place for emotion. It's a place for passion because I want to be excited. I want to sound good. But you got to constantly make those calls. It's every day like clockwork. It's like, okay, I look at the year. I go, okay, there's 365 days in a year. And when I talk to somebody today, they have to go in a slot somewhere in the other 364 days left. They have to go somewhere for me to follow up with them. And you put them in there. Even if they were a jerk, if they told me they'd never switch, well, it doesn't matter. I still put them in. And it's just a constant follow-up game. Does that make sense, Ted? I know it was a long, drawn-out deal, but does that
it
make
makes a lot of sense. I got several solid nuggets out of that. I appreciate you taking us through that.
Yeah, no sweat. Great question. I mean, it's just got to be strong in that stick-to-itiveness. It's like, and that's what I said. I was just dumb enough to do the deal because I didn't know any better. All I could do is just grind. And then you wake up one day and go, holy shit, you're writing 30-plus deals a month. I don't even know how they just come in because you've built this machine. To bring them
back. Do you find that people will actually circle back with you once you've done your follow-up and they know you want their business, maybe something goes wrong with the current provider, do they all of a sudden out of the blue call you from time to time?
Of course.
Some will.
Yeah. I mean, because here's how I look. It's like courtship. It's like you're courting them. And I had a furniture deal I chased for like 2 years. But that's just the name of the game. Most guys aren't that tenacious. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to do that, and the reason why I could afford to keep chasing them is because I was doing the most important thing right when I would get a live one, for an example, someone that I knew, is I would tie them down before I would give them any numbers at all. They would almost have to say, yes, I am switching to you, Charlie, if you come in and show me better numbers. Otherwise, I wouldn't even give them numbers. If they go, well, we're going to think about it. Let us know what you can do. And I go, well, let me ask you this. Okay, if I can do better than what you have today, can we move forward? And they go, well, we're going to think about it. I go, hey, when you're ready to move forward with something better than what you have now, call me. I mean, I would be that hard about it. And they go, well, okay, you know what? All right, if you can save us money, we'll move forward. If they hemmed and hawed, I'd never give them numbers because I knew they'd take my numbers and they'd run somewhere else.
Yep.
You got to be like, this is, and this is where a lot of guys fall short, I think, is they're afraid to get that solid tie down before they give them numbers because they think the numbers are going to carry it through. You need to hammer them down. They won't. Yeah, they won't. Whoever says that.
You can't sell. That was Ted. I'm taking up all the time, and I apologize, but you're right. You can't sell on price. There's no business out there where the value proposition equals price.
No. I want them to go, man, Ted, I love you so much. Hey, man, whatever you can do, if it's better than what I have, I'm switching. That's when you give them numbers. If you haven't gotten to that point yet, then you need to keep tenderizing that deal and building rapport and getting in there and figuring something out before you give them any numbers. That's it. It's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you get in this constant, chopping you battle. And if that's what you're about, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, I'm not the guy to have a relationship with because I'm more of a long-term relationship. And they come to that. And you know what? Some go off and marry someone else, but they all come back. Good question. Any other questions? No?
I have a question.
Sorry for the long answer.
My name is Jeanette, by the way, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. And
Jeanette, by the way, that's an interesting name. Good to have you.
Is that hyphenated, by the way?
By the way, is that hyphenated?
Jeanette Baldwin. I'm sorry, this is my first call.
Hey, welcome, Jeanette. What's going on?
Thank you. You said that you called. You didn't walk in because originally when I started, I would walk in, and I really did not enjoy doing it that way. And so I'm now trying to figure out how can I create that for myself in a way that is a little bit more enjoyable for me because I didn't like walking in. And so actually calling them is something that is sounding pretty good to me. So could you elaborate more on that for me, please?
Sure. And I'll make this one quick. Sorry about the last one. But, here's the crucial thing. When you're calling someone on the phone, they either have to know you, okay, so it either has to be someone you know personally that owns a business, or it's got to be one of your friends, or maybe a girlfriend of yours knows 3 business owners. I called referrals on the phone because I'd go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, my name's Chuck Feldman, First Financial, how's it going? They go, I'm not interested. And I go, hey, I was reaching out to you. Jeanette asked me to give you a call. And then they go, oh, okay. Then I would do that over the phone. But I never just grabbed the phone book and went, oh, I'm going to call this merchant. I never did that because it doesn't work to the scale that you'll want it to work. So it was either I knew them personally already, or if I knew them enough from going in there, I'd call them, or if it was a referral, because then I can name drop when I'm on the phone. Otherwise, I wouldn't just cold call a general list. Does that make sense?
Yes, and thank you for that.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else? No? Awesome. You know what, guys, you got my email. Email me what you guys need. What do you need? What do you want? What do you want us to we'll put things together. We're here to serve you guys, man. We want you out there. The 8-10 deals a month is one heck of a living for yourselves. So whatever you need, let us know. And I guess same bat time, same bat place next week, right, John?
Hey, that's exactly right.
Awesome.
Hi, this is Bill Lord from New York.
Bill.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
I like the approach Tom was mentioning. I'm going to sign my first contract this week with the same approach that he did. It's excellent. It's work. You got to tell them, like what you said. Are you happy where you are? Are you ready to make the switch? Let's go. And I'm about to sign my second contract this Thursday. It's a $35,000 a month contract. Not too much, but
awesome.
I'm looking for the big one. But my question to you is, I'm looking for material, something like a blurb. I can just say, you know what, this is my information in case you don't need, in case you decide, call me at this number, and I just need a blurb. Is there something in your site that I can use? I can pull a script or something. I can put in like a quick handout, small, nothing elaborate, maybe a 3 or 4 word sentence that has first financial information and perhaps a business card format that you can provide me. I'll make my own cards. I have no problems with that. I think that will work just fine. I think the door-to-door, shake their hands and says, you know what, if you ever change your mind, here, call me. This is my number. And then you do a follow-up. You take the information, sort of like a cold calling, but you're physically walking into the premise.
Sure. Hey, we got a lot of guys that have started that way that didn't know a lot of people. Maybe they just moved to a new area, and they started that way. But you said the most important thing in that sentence is that I'll make sure to get their information so I can follow up. Because cold calls can turn into warm calls if you gather the information and you actually follow up with them. So we'll send you a link. Who's your agent director?
I'm working with John, Jon.
Okay. Yeah, John. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get out to you.
Sorry.
You can definitely print off as many business cards. Business cards work well. We do have flyer information. Like if you want to use the give back or the $100 guarantee, I would recommend not using. I'd use the give back over anything else initially. But those are online, so we'll get you to those. But
I have a nice company here in New York that I talk about the gift back. I am so green. I'm not kidding. I walked into a window world. That's the first thing I saw, but I didn't have the material. I can always go back. The guy does phenomenal. He's been on several big TV commercials. He had a bike solo, and he's like the gift back is the key to that function of that business. I wanted to get back in there, but without the proper information, it's kind of tying my legs for a minute.
Yep. No, we'll get that to you. We'll get that to you, definitely. It's on the site. We'll walk you through it. Yeah,
okay.
Give back is the give back, guys. If you don't use it, you got to use the give back.
That's a big point right now.
Yeah. On every merchant I spoke with, I'd be using the give back because it leads you into so many more opportunities to get business. So I would definitely use that. But all right, we've got a little bit over, but I really super appreciate you guys. Great questions today. We'll be here next week, and please email me. What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What can we do for you guys to help you build that machine? So have a great week, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks everybody. Okay,
right.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.